Hey there, it's Velton Shaw. Thanks for joining me today. Just wanted to spend a few minutes today talking about something that has been on my mind, and I think it's real appropriate for a lot of the business owners out there for us to kind of have a conversation. And the reason why I wanted to have this conversation is a lot of businesses today are out spending a lot of money on equipment and a lot of money on state of the art things to try to get a step up, to get a leg up on everybody else, to get a leg up on the competition, to show that they're a better alternative, to show that they can do things in a better fashion than other people. And one of the things that always escaped me was all of this money is being spent on these big grandiose ideas, these big grandiose procedures and equipment. But at the end of the day, the one thing that always seemed to be the simplest was the things that got overlooked. And I came out of sales and marketing, and I spent a lot of time looking at products and evaluating our products, evaluating our competitors' products, how we stacked up, how they stacked up, what made them better, what made us better. And really what it boiled down to was one thing. What was the differentiating factor? What made us different and unique? What made them different and unique? Why would a person make the buying decision to go with them over going with us, or vice versa? Preferably, they're making the decision to go with you versus to go with your competitor. But what is it that makes that difference for you? What sets you apart, whether you're in the technological field, whether you're in the service industry, whether you're providing a tangible product that someone utilizes or works with? What is it that makes you different? Why do I want to maintain a long-lasting relationship with you, the supplier of the product, and become a part of your family or your customer base? You've heard a lot about people creating a family, or corporations spending a lot of money to get people to buy their brand and to indulge in their brand, not just for one product, but for multiple products. The greatest example right now is probably Apple and its laundry list of products. It has a full suite of products, from phones to computers, and you name it, they've got it for you to help you become a total Apple user. Well, the question that I've been really wrestling back and forth with, and I think the real thing that leadership needs to understand as they go through the process, and most of the very good leaders grasp this, is our differentiating factor is not just the equipment. Now, the first segment of your differentiating factor does deal with the equipment or the product that you are providing. And the key to that came to me one night. I was watching my mother, who's 84 years old, and she was watching television. And this was a few years ago. And I went to her house when she was living at her home. And I walked in, it was probably about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And my mom was sitting there watching television, and she had this look on her face of excitement. And in one hand, she had the remote control of the television. And in the other hand, she had a credit card. And I walked in, and I had this perplexed look on my face. And I said, "Mom, what are you doing?" She said, "Shh, wait a minute, hold on. Give me 5 minutes." So I sat down, and I just observed what she was doing. She was watching one of the home shopping networks. Yeah, she was watching the home shopping network. And there was a product on the home shopping network that she really liked, that she wanted to purchase. And what she did is she waited for the number, and she waited so that she could now pick up the phone and dial the number, call in her credit card, and purchase that product. Now, what she got from that was an immediate gratification, because she was able to get immediate service. She was able to obtain the product without getting up out of her her chair and going to the store or going somewhere and actually physically putting her hands on the product, paying for the product, getting back in the car, driving home, so forth and so on. So basically, she was able to receive or fulfill a need of hers without the inconvenience of doing other things. That was the first thing that really drove home to me. But the second thing was the product that she purchased. She was sure, based on the information that she had been able to either listen to or research, that the product had a certain level of quality. She wanted a certain level of quality for the product that she purchased, and based on the information that she had, this was the best quality that she could get for this product or this particular thing that she was purchasing. So I said, that makes perfect sense to me. And then I watched a little longer with her. And what I was really kind of tuned into is not only was she happy with the quality of the product, but she was also happy with the pricing strategy. She found a value in the product for a couple of reasons. Number one, the quality was high. But number two, the value wasn't just the price. The value was the purchasing method, the convenience of being able to, once again, sit still and fulfill her need without the inconvenience of having to go hither and thou to get it. So she was very, very excited and very happy that she was able to maintain that level of convenience and comfort and still fulfill her needs. The third part, and this is where I kind of put this all together, was the experience that she got from sitting there and watching the parade of products that they had available, some of which she was interested in, some of them she wasn't. So she was able to basically determine her level of interest very quickly and either purchase or move on. So I told you that little scenario for a couple of reasons, because I came up with an idea. And the idea was this, and the idea really was in sync with one of the home shopping networks. You know, there's really two major home shopping networks: HSN, which is called the Home Shopping Networks, and the other one is called QVC. And to me, QVC is probably the best acronym to explain business in general in this new age. And why I think that way is for three reasons. Number one, the letter Q stands for quality. And quality is determined as a distinctive attribute or characteristic possessed by someone or something. The standard by which something or someone is measured against other things of a similar kind, things that are very, very similar, and the degree of excellence of something. So if you're talking about quality, you want to make sure that compared to this I feel as though is better. Compared to that, this has the upper hand. This is closer to a degree of excellence that I'm looking for than anything else that I've seen today. So in your business, if you're going to dominate your market, you have to think in the terms of quality. How many times do you look at something yourself when you're about to purchase it and question the level of quality of that item? Your customers are doing the same thing with your business or your products. They're questioning the quality. Are you giving them 5-star quality in your products? Are your products the best that they can find in the marketplace? Or are there other products that are more efficient or have a higher level or degree of excellence in fulfilling a customer's needs than yours. The question is, where do you stand in the marketplace? Because that quality signature will take you to the next area. And the next area is value. Because when someone finds a high level of quality, they value that more than they would value a lower level of quality. So what is the level of quality that you have that will allow you to develop an ideology in the customer's mind that you are providing a very high standard or level of value? And value is defined as the regard held for something, its worth or usefulness. So it's not something that you can do. The customer has to find value in it. They have to find a regard for it. They want to make sure that it's worth something to them and they can utilize it. So if they figure as though they can use it, then they find their own level of value in it. One's judgment of what is important in life. That's what you value. Think about your life. There are certain things that you value and other things that you just can take or leave. So the customer wants to make sure that they're getting what they are paying for. They find the worthiness or the value in the product or the items that you're bringing to the marketplace. It's an estimation of monetary worth of something. Is it worth, we talk about value. Value trumps price. If I value something, I'll pay more for it. You say, what do you mean, Velton? Why would I pay more for something if I value it more? Well, let's look at life in general. Let's look at why some people live in a 5,000 square foot, 10,000 square foot home and pay an enormous amount more because they can for that when they could live in a smaller home in a different area for much, much less. Why are there different brands of cars available on the market? Why are there Buicks and Chevys and GMs? And why are there Mercedes, Bentleys, and BMWs? Because people value things differently. People find a different worth or value based on their preferences. And they're willing to pay more if they feel as though they're getting a better deal. And the deal's not about monetary cost. The deal is about gratification. How do I feel about it? What do I feel? So I want to make sure that if I pay more, that I feel as though the value is there. If you're priced more than your competitors, are you giving them the value? Are you giving the customer the value that they're looking for that will say to them, yeah, it's going to cost me another $100 a month. Yeah, it's going to cost me another $300 to work with John, but you know what? The quality is there. So you know what? The value, it's worth what he or she is charging. So you're looking at two things so far. Q and V, quality, because quality is job one. Value, you've heard that before. Value, because value allows me to command the price that's going to be in sync with what I need and what's competitive in the marketplace and even outstrip the marketplace. And the last is C. I said QVC. And C is, to me, because I was in the hotel business and the hospitality industry, probably the most difficult to be consistent with, but the thing that will bring your customer back again and again. And I don't call it customer service. You'll very rarely hear me say customer service. I call it customer experience. Anybody can provide service because service is a temporary situation. Experiences last a lifetime. If the customer has an experience with you, they're more than likely to repeat or want that same experience again and again. And they will gravitate towards you because you already have a proven track record of providing that experience. So if you can provide top level customer experience, then you reinforce the value. You reinforce the quality. You make people understand that it was worth it. You know, as I said, spending 30 years in the hospitality industry, it was very eye-opening because we sold something that was intangible, an intangible product. It was a feeling. When you left our building, you left with 2 of 3 things. Only one constant, the other was a variable. The constant was a receipt, because everybody gets a receipt, because at the end of the day, you want to expense it or you want to see what it cost. The variable was the feeling that you left with. If you had a good feeling when you left the hotel, when you looked at your receipt, the experience told you that you're worth it. The experience told you that the quality was worth the value paid. There was value there. Conversely, if you look at that receipt and you had a bad experience, you're now wondering how you can get a refund, why you chose that hotel or that facility. You're not going to choose it again. You're going to tell as many people as you can not to utilize it. Remember, human nature is if I have a good experience, I'll tell 1 or 2 people. If I have a bad experience, I'll tell 10 or 15. So the experience is something that is very important to maintaining your customer. It's about repeat business. Your sales will bring the customer in the first time. The experience will bring them back again and again. So those 3 areas, quality, value, and customer experience, are essential in any business, for the business not only to maintain itself, but for the business to grow. Because you can turn up the level of quality, and if you turn up your level of quality, it's immediately going to bring in a higher ideology or idea of value, and that is going to bring a better support mechanism if the customer experience is leveled on top of that. So remember, you want to make sure that your customers are getting the best possible experience from you so that they endorse the value and they enjoy the quality of the products that and services that you're providing. I talked about it the other day, and I talked about a company, and I'm a very big fan of Ritz-Carlton, which is a hotel company, and the fact that they are probably the premier organization in the hospitality industry, but even more so in other industries. I'm going to leave you with this. They have a saying in their employee manual, and this is how they treat not only their customers, but this is how they treat their employees, because how you treat your employees will spill over to how they treat your customers. They are on the front line of your business, and you need to make sure that you value them so that they provide the quality and the customer experience that you're looking for your end user or your end customer to get. And Ritz-Carlton says this: "We are ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen." Think about that. We are ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen. So that means the CEO of the company has to look at everybody in the company as a lady and a gentleman to be served. You're not the boss. You are a servant leader. If you can maintain that type of ideology and that kind of framework inside your company, that everyone in the company is a lady and a gentleman, serving other ladies and gentlemen, whether they're internal or external, quality, value, and customer experience will permeate through your organization forever. So that's my philosophy on that subject. I love quality, value, and customer experience. I think those are three things that every organization has to look for and thrive on. These are some of the ideas and some of the concepts that you'll hear further from me in places like the Virtual CEO Society. You should come over and listen to some of the things that are going on over there. You'll also hear some more of these concepts in my upcoming book entitled Leadership Dynamics, 52 Principles that Every Successful Leader Understands. These are things that I want to share with you over and over and over again. If you have ideas, if you have concepts, if you have suggestions, send me an email at info@veltonshowell.com. Come on over to my website at veltonshowell.com and stay connected. I'm always around, I'm always willing to learn, and I'm always willing to share. Thanks again. Have a great day. This is Velton Showell.